Hi there, my name is Mike Perez. I am a 25-year young band educator, and my business is Mastering the Young Band. And today's episode, I wanted to talk to you about breathing exercises for your young band students. When young band students come into your classroom, they are coming from the chaos generally of a passing period. If you've ever walked into a middle school, junior high, or even a high school hallway, you know the chaos that is out in those hallways. People yelling, shouting. It's just a loud, stimulating environment. And then your kids are frantically trying to get to your band room. They get out their instruments as quickly as they can to be on time, and there's just a lot of pent-up energy, and that comes into your classroom. Even if you have your students come in calmly and quietly, they still have that energy. So I like to use breathing exercises to help decompress and calm the room. So more often than not with my ensembles, we start with some type of breathing exercise. What I like about it, as I mentioned, is to calm the students down, but I also like doing breathing exercises just to work on the mechanics and the physical nature of the breathing technique for students. The third reason why I like doing breathing exercises is you actually get their instruments physically warmed up because they blow warm air into the instruments. My most common breathing exercise that I do is what I call 4-2-1. And what 4-2-1 is, the students breathe in for 4 counts, and then they breathe out for 4 counts. They do that 2 times. Then they breathe in for 2 counts, out for 2 counts. They do that twice. And then they do a 1 count breath, and they breathe out. And that one they do 10 times. So they do 4 and 4 twice, 2 and 2 twice, and then a 1 count breath 10 times. What I do, so I have my brass players go to 7th position. I have woodwinds put all of their keys down. Flutes, I have them actually roll in so that way they blow into the tone hole. So they'll be blowing in like this to get air through the instrument. Double reeds, I have them keep their reeds soaking, and the bassoons blow into their bocal, and the oboes actually blow right into their instrument. So I set my metronome to 72, and then here is what the 4-2-1 exercise looks like. So when I tell the students the metronome's going, I'll say, ready, go. And down. So I make them freeze at the end and then say and down. Now, I was purposely breathing through my instrument just so you could hear the ins and outs. I don't have my students breathe in through their instruments. So that's the 4-2-1 that I do, and I do that for the majority of my breathing exercises. A couple of things to talk with your students about. So the first one is obviously breathing through the mouth, but then second, we talk about the stomach motion and expansion. So when they breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. So when they breathe in, their stomach should go out. When they breathe out, their stomach should come in. If you ever took a class voice class in college on your music ed degree, you know that's called intercostal or diaphragmatic breathing. When you push that stomach out, your diaphragm drops down and allows your lungs to drop down, and you actually take in more air. So when we're doing our breathing exercises, I just say stomach motion because I've already taught them that motion. We'll talk about our stomach motion. The other thing we'll talk about is, are you taking as much air in your 2 count and especially your 1 count breath as you were in the 4 count? So that's my most common breathing exercise that I use. Another one I do is a box breath, and you've probably seen this a lot in meditation or just calming exercises. This one, you breathe in for 4, you hold your breath for 4, you breathe out for 4, hold your breath for 4, and then you do it again. It's called a box breath. So here's what a box breath looks like. Same thing, I do it at tempo 72. So I set the metronome on, and I'll brass 7th position, woodwinds, keys down. Ready, go. down. And I normally do the box breath 4 times. That one I generally just do 4 counts, but you can also do 2s and 1s. It just gets a little bit harder with especially the 1 count on that exercise. Another thing that'll do for breathing exercise, this one works on having them take shorter and shorter breaths, but still letting out 4 counts. So what we're going to start doing is we'll breathe in for 4, we'll go out for 4, and we do that 4 times. Then we breathe for 2. I'll say ready, go. They breathe in for 2 counts, and then they breathe out for 4 counts. Again, 4 times. Then they'll breathe in for 1 count. I'll go 1, 2, 3, and they breathe out for 4 counts. Then we'll do the half count breath. And the half count breath, what they do is I'll go 1, 2, 3. So you notice when we go to the half count breath or the 8th note breath, they touch the rest on count 1 and then they breathe on the end of 1. So that one looks like this. Ready, go. And down. And what's great about that last breathing exercise, as you know in your student sheet music, they don't always get to take a nice 2 count breath. More often than not, it's a 1 count or a half count breath. So you do have to have some exercises in your routine, in your daily skills that help your students to practice that. Now, those are the 3 main breathing exercises I do with my students throughout the year. And I usually cycle them through by quarter. Now, it's also important, do that with your concert F then. So if you do the 4-2-1 breath, do that with the concert F, have them play. Let me just demonstrate part of that. So here's that last exercise where I breathe in for 4, out for 4. I'll do a 4 count breath, then I'll do a 2 count breath, then a 1 count, then I'll do several of the 8 notes. So take a listen to this. Again, tempo 72. Ready, go. Whoops, concert F, sorry about that. Ready, go. So those are my 3 main breathing exercises that I do. Again, they're great to calm your kids down when they walk into your band room. Second, it gets them just mentally to get all of that energy from the passing period out. It physically warms up their instrument and it works on their breathing technique. So if you've never done any of those 3 simple breathing exercises, try them out with their band. Those are the 3 that I use, and I think you'll just find it's a great way of working on breathing and calming your band room down. Thanks, everybody. MikePerezBand.com, Mastering the Young Band. There's other resources there, including Essential Foundations, my beginning warm-up and skills technique book for the young band. Take care.